Channel crocheters, and welcome to my channel ZoeCrochetRE. In today's tutorial, you will learn how to crochet this beautiful baby Chevron romper. This romper will fit a newborn baby, but in the course of tutorial, we're guiding you step by step, perfect for absolute beginners, how to make this in various sizes. And I'd love to say a big thank you to all of my subscribers and my channel viewers. Thank you for liking and sharing my tutorials. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel ZoeCrochetRE. And a very big thank you to all my members. Now, without further ado, get it on my chest and let's get started. And commit your work to the Lord, and your plan should be established. Proverbs 16 verse 3. Okay, these are the materials we're going to need. We're going to need our scissors, our stitch markers, a darning needle, our measuring tape to take a measurement. And for most of the times, I work with this yarn. It's a yarn. It's a Nigerian brand yarn. It's 100% acrylic. 100% acrylic. Okay, we're going to start working. We're going to start by creating our slip knot, and I'll be working with this hook, the 3mm size hook. And for this baby's romper, I'll use approximately 60 grams of yarn. We're going to start with a starting chain and yarn over and pull through. And a starting chain is a multiple of 11. And try to work, and while working, try to make your chain not too tight. So it's going to be easier for us to work out. So go ahead and complete your starting chain. I've completed my chains, and when folded and I take my measurement, the width gives me 11 centimeters. Now this is the width leg of a newborn size, and if you want a bigger size, you're just going to be increasing 1 centimeter progressively. I'll be leaving some measurements on the screen and they are very adjustable. So this is what I have, and in here I have a total of 44 chains. And you can see my chains are really not tight. So you want to have the same effect, you can either use the same hook loose or use the bigger size hook. That's going to help you greatly. Now once we have our multiple of 11, we are going to work in those back loops. All right, we're going to start here. So you're just going to turn. So here we have it. So you're going to turn it like this, and you're going to make sure that your work is not twisted but very, very straight. And we're going to work in this first chain here. Take my yarn, bring that to the front. I'm going to insert your hook and grab those back loop. So insert your hook like this and help yourself. Let me see. I'm going to yarn over. One thing you can do for yourself is not one more thing you can do for yourself is really not very compulsory but it's helpful. I just love to just put a stitch marker in this last chain. That's my number 44 chain. It just makes life easier for me. I have my stitch marker and I know this is my last chain. Yeah. And I come this way. Here we are. I'm going to just yarn over and slip stitch. Good. And this is our first chain. We're going to start working that very first chain. We're going to go ahead and chain one. I'm going to yarn over. Insert your hook in that same chain. Insert your hook and yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops in your hook, yarn over and pull out 3 loops. This is a half double crochet. We're going to yarn over and go to the next chain and look for the back loop. Here we have it. Back does it. Here and here and here and here. So go there. Make sure you don't skip a stitch, a chain. Up it like this. Help. Yes, let you like this. And make a half double crochet. This is number 2 half double crochet. And you want to insert your hook and mark that very first stitch. Insert your stitch marker and mark that first half double crochet. So 1, 2, yarn over, come to the next, and make number 3 half double crochet, yarn over, come to the next, and make number 4 half double crochet. Now we have a total of 4 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 half double crochets. After our 4 half double crochet, we're going to create our first peak. So you're going to yarn over, come to the next chain, insert your hook, and in there you're going to make 3 half double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Here we have for 3 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3. In that same stitch, you're going to mark this middle half double crochet. Insert your hook and mark this middle stitch. That's the second. Insert your stitch marker and mark that stitch. 1. And next, we have 4 half double crochet here. We're going to make another 4 half double crochet. So yarn over and make 4 half double crochet. So this is number 1. Yarn over, number 2. Yarn over, number 3. And number 4. We have 4 half double crochet and 4 half double crochet, and look at, I really have something like this. Here we have 4 half double crochet, or pick 4 half double crochet. After this 4 half double crochet, now we're going to create something else. We're going to yarn over and skip 2 chains, 1 and 2, and come to the third, and you're going to make a half double crochet. You're going to, this is number 1. This is number 1. Yarn over, going to the next, number 2. Yarn over, going to the next, number 3, and number 4. Good. And I want to look now, you have a valley here. This is how I was just going to work. After a valley, we're going to create a pick. So after this group of 4 half double crochet, yarn over and come to the next stitch. Now you're going to create a pick. Here we're going to make 4 half double crochet. Let's just call this a pick. 1, we're going to make 3, 2, and 3. We have 3 half double crochet in that same stitch. Yarn over, and next you're going to make 4 half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have 4 half double crochet. Next we're going to create a valley. Yarn over and skip 2 chains, 1, 2, 1 and 2, and into the third, start making again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have 4 half double crochet, and you know what will follow is going to be a pick. So you're just going to repeat the sequence and then reach at the end of this round. Okay, at the end of our first round, your work should look like this. I know it's a lot of stitch markers, don't bother, let's just help myself out. Now, at the end, when you do your last pick, I'll advise you to insert your stitch marker. Or if you want to use stitch markers, you can still use a yarn of, another color. All right. So, I have my stitch marker here. This is my last pick. Next, after my last pick, I have 4 half double crochets, and you can see that here I have 2 stitches left, 2 chains, 1 and 2. Let me show you. You can see that at the end here I have 2 chains. 2 chains left, 1 and 2, and the chain are marked. I have 2 chains left here. So I'm just going to take off my stitch marker, and to end this round, this is what we're going to do. You're going to skip those 2 chains because we have a valley here, we have a pick here, so we need a valley. You're going to skip those 2 chains and insert your hook in this very first chain here, this very first stitch we did to start the row. Take off your stitch marker and go in that stitch and yarn over and pull through, make a slip stitch. And here we go. We have created our first row. We've created our first round, and that's what we have so far. We're going to start the next round. You're going to chain one. Now we need to know that our pattern is worked in four stitches, four stitches. So this way you start. This is why I put my stitch marker here, so that I know that this is where I'm going to do the first pick. If you get the first pick right, you get the rest right. All right. So I just have my stitch marker here, and I know I need 4 half double crochets before the first pick. So I come and I count 1, 2, 3, 4. Automatically I know I'm not working in this first stitch. All right. So to start the next round, you're going to skip this first stitch and yarn over and come to the next stitch and start making a half double crochet. So this is number 1, number 2. I just set my stitch marker in that first stitch. Number 3 and number 4. See, we have our 4 stitches. Take out your stitch marker, and in that stitch you're going to make your pick. Go in there and make 3 half double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. I always mark the stitch, because when you get this first pick right, you're going to get the rest right. Next we're going to make 4 half double crochets. So yarn over, and this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have 4 double crochet, and now we're going to skip 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and come and work in the third and yarn over, and from the third you're going to make 1 half double crochet. That's number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And that's what we have so far. I've been working and come at the end of this round. I have with 1 stitch. This is not 2. This is where we do the slip stitch, and this is where we do the chain 1. I'm going to come here and slip stitch here, and this is just going to be a repeat pattern. So go in that first stitch and slip stitch, and your work should look like this at the end of this second round. You can see our work is coming out. Chevron stitch. We're going to start, and this is our repeat pattern. You're going to chain 1. We are always going to be skipping that first stitch and going to yarn over and make 4 half double crochet, 2, 3, and 4, and you're going to make your peak, which consists of 3 double crochet in the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Add that middle stitch and make 4 half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and skip 1, 2, and the third. You keep on working. Make 4 half double crochet and the peak, and repeat the sequence, and I'll meet you at the end of this round for the next part of our work. I'll be working again at the end here. We have the same 1 stitch left. So I'm going to skip it and wear a stitch marker and slip stitch in there. Here we're going to change the color, so just slip stitch and yarn over, pull through, don't close it. Just keep this white inside. Let the white be inside like this. And you're going to bring in your next color. So just bring it closer like this and yarn over and bring that color yarn inside. Close it with the red. And you want to pull that white so that it closes. Just pull it well and make sure the white is in here, not like this, but inside the work. And bring that red tail in front. I'm going to chain 1. I know we are always going to be skipping this first stitch, so yarn over and start working from the second. And 1, 2, 3, like your first stitch, 3, 4, and you're going to create your peak. Consists of 3 double crochet in the same stitch, 2 and 3. I'm going to mark that middle stitch. I'm going to go ahead and make 4 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skip 1, 2, and then you make 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you're going to just repeat this sequence until you have your, and now you're going to just repeat this same sequence until you get your desired height. I'm going to make like this 2 identical pieces, 2 identical. Go ahead and yeah, I've been working, and my height measures 7 centimeters. I take from peak to peak 7 centimeters, and I have in here a total of 7 rounds, and that's what it kind of looks like. Now you're going to make 2 identical pieces like this, 2 identical pieces. We are about to join them, but before that, we're going to go ahead and make 1 round here on this other piece. So you're going to chain 1 and make your pattern exactly. Alright, good. Now you're going to just keep on working, making 1 more round, and you're not going to close your work at the end here. I'm going to meet you at the end here. Okay, yeah, I've worked and I've come on this other end here, and you can see we have 1 stitch left. Normally we always keep this 1 stitch and slip stitch here to create our peak, right? But now we're going to do something different because we need to connect this to this. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to undo this last number 4 half double crochet because we still need to maintain our 4 stitches at the end here. So just undo this last. Good. And now this is what we're going to do. You're going to yarn over, insert your hook in that stitch, and yarn over, pull through, yarn over into the next stitch, insert your hook, and yarn over, pull through. Now this way we just slip stitch, right? Just come in here. You can see where we usually do the slip stitch. Thus the stitch is really very visible. Come in that slip stitch. Go in that slip stitch. Good. And this, see. So at the same time we are creating a peak, and at the same time we are maintaining our 4 stitches. We have not increased on stitches. We still have 4 stitches here. Good. Next part of our work, we're going to go ahead and chain 11. So you're going to chain 11. 1, 2. I'm going to still mark that first. I know I have a lot of stitch markers here. Don't bother. I just want you to stay. I just love working like this. Alright. You must not do all of this, but saves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 chains, or I advise you to make these chains. Let it not be tight. Now you're going to make sure your chain is not twisted, right? And we're going to take our second leg, and I advise you that when you're fastening off your second leg along the tail, it will be easier for you to identify the last stitch. So you want to make sure your chain is not twisted. Good. You're going to take that other end. See, you're going to insert your hook in there like this. Go in there, insert your hook, and slip stitch, yarn over, and pull through. Easy peasy. And now you're going to chain 1. And here we go. We have something like this. Next part of our work, we're going to just repeat our pattern. You know, we usually skip the stitch, so you're going to go around, make your pattern. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. So you're going to go around, you're going to walk all around, and I'll meet you at this other end here. Here we have walked all around, and we come at this other end here, right? And we're going to do exactly what we did on the other side. And we're going to do exactly what we did on the other side. So yeah, you see, we still have our first stitch. You're going to just undo that last double crochet and you're going to yarn over. That you're holding that slip stitch and pull off. Here we go. You still have our first stitch, and then you're going to go ahead and chain the knot, the same number of chains we chained here, 11 chains. So 1, and we are chaining 11 here because our stitch is worked in multiples of 11, right? And you need to make sure that this other chain here is not twisted before you connect the second one, and make sure your chain 2 is not twisted. This is our first stitch. This is our first slip stitch. This is where you usually start our round. So you're going to take off the stitch marker and go in there and slip stitch. Easy peasy slip stitch. Good. And here we go. So we have both legs joined together. I know I have a lot of stitch markers, but don't bother about that. Yep. Next, we're going to continue with our work, and we are just going to repeat our pattern. So you're going to chain 1, and as usual, you're going to skip that first stitch, and we're going to make 4 half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're going to go around. So this is now our round number 9. Okay, our round number 8 join our leg together, and now this is round number 9. So keep on working, and I'll meet you here where we have our chains, and we'll come here. We have 1 stitch left here, as usual we always have 1 stitch left. Now when we have our first stitch, our stitch marker, this is our first chain. This is our first chain. I'm just going to take off the first chain, the stitch marker, and I know that this is chain number 1, and this is chain number 2. We're going to skip 2 stitches. So you're going to skip the last stitch on this round. This is our first leg. Skip the last stitch on that round and skip the first chain, all right, and come and start working in the second chain from of your and come and start working the second chain, all right. So yarn over, you skip the last stitch, you skip the first chain, and you start working the second chain and going there, and this is number 1 half double crochet. See, we have created our peak, even though yeah, the way it is. And yarn over, come to the next stitch, make number 2 half double crochet, number 2 half double crochet, number 3 half double crochet, and number 4 half double crochet. We have 4 double crochets. In the next stitch you're going to create a peak. You're going to make 3 half double crochet in the same stitch. 1, 2, and 3. You're going to yarn over, you're going to yarn over and make 4 half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. And this is what we have in here in the long chains. Now we are moving on to the second leg. That's the second leg. Where you see my stitch marker, it is where we did the first, it is where we did the stitch on the second leg, the first stitch. So I'm just going to take it out. Good. And now we are going to skip this last chain and the first stitch. Alright, just as we skipped the last stitch and the first chain on this other leg, on this other side also we're going to skip the last chain and the first stitch. Remember, this is not a stitch, this is a slip stitch. So you skip the last chain and the first stitch and start working the second, and yarn over and come the second, and this is oops, and this is number 1 half double crochet, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Right, and now you're just going to create our peak. 1, 2, and 3. And this is what we have so far. So you are going to go around and just repeat the same sequence. You're going to go around and you're going to work this level, this space exactly as we worked here. So go around and I'll meet you here. Okay, we have been working and we'll come at the end of this other leg. And you see we end the same way. We have 1 stitch left, and this is our first chain where we have a stitch marker. So I'm going to take off my stitch marker right now, and of course yarn over. We're going to skip that last half double crochet and the first chain and start working on the second chain, and we're going to do exactly what we did on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to create your peak. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we come now here where we usually close our work, where we usually join both ends. We're going to skip the last chain and just come here and slip stitch. And here we go. And now we are just going to repeat our pattern. We're going to chain 1, and as usual, we always skip that first stitch, and we'll always start working in the second stitch. See now. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm always going to mark my first stitch, and I'm going to create my peak. 1, 2, and 3. Set my stitch marker, and this is everything we're going to do. Go around and just repeat the same sequence and keep building from here. Go and repeat the same sequence and I'll meet you at the end here. I just wanted to just show you what you're going to do here. This is where we did the change, right? This is where I worked on the change. You see, after my peak, I've done my 4 half double crochets, and I will just keep 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and I'll just come in the third. I'm going to repeat the sequence, all right? And I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to make my peak, and I'm just going to repeat my sequence, and we're going to see how far work. We'll come at the end. Good. I'll come at the end of this round. I will still have 1 stitch left. I'm going to skip that, and I'm going to slip stitch. I'm going to chain 1, and we're going to repeat your pattern. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is what we're going to repeat. We're going to keep building until we get to the height of what babies of the body. And I'm waiting for the next pattern for work. Alright. So keep on working. Okay, we have been working, and this is what we have so far. We have a height of 15 centimeters. This is a newborn size, and we have a width of 20 centimeters. And we have a total of 20 rounds here. 20 rounds. And right now, for the next part of work, we're going to work on the upper front of a dress. Something important we want to do is count the number of picks you have. I have a total of 10 picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right. So 5 is going to come for the front, and five picks is going to go for the back. That's just how I identify my work. Now you're going to come in this first pick here and this last pick. You're going to come here and look for your pick. Right. This is how you're going to identify that middle stitch. And this is how you're going to identify the middle stitch. You're going to come on this first stitch, right? This stitch here. You're going to count from here 1. You can see we have the stitch in the middle here. We're going to allow this stitch and start counting from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 extra, and that's the middle stitch. We're going to insert a stitch marker in the middle here. And we're going to start working here. And you're going to do the same thing on this other side also. Pick up your stitch marker and go in the stitch. Chain 1, and the same stitch you're going to make 1/2 double crochet. So 1, I'm going to make a total of 5 half double crochet. So 1 and 5. Here we have 5 half double crochets. We're going to yarn over and skip 2 stitches as usual, 1, 2, and come here, and you're going to make your pattern 1, 2, 3, 4. You make your peak. You're going to put this sequence and I'll measure this other end here. Okay. Then we're working. We get to the end here. I have already my 4 half double crochet, and I need to do my number 5 just as we have here. But now I come here and I find myself with 2 stitches, 1, 2. I'm going to make a half double crochet 2 together because we must have 5 half double crochet just as this other end. I'm going to take off my stitch marker and we're going to end this a half double crochet together so that we still have 5 stitches just as we have here. Now, and something very important, we must have the same number of stitches on this other end. Now we're going to start the next row. You're going to chain 1. You're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Now we're going to start our reductions. In the previous row we did 5 half double crochets. Here we're going to do 4 half double crochets. So yarn over and go and make 4 half double crochet. 1, 2, mark my first stitch, 3, and 4. 4 half double crochet. Yarn over and skip 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in the middle stitch I'm going to do my peak. We're going to repeat the pattern and I'll meet you at the other end here. Get on this other end here, I already have my peak, my last peak, and my 4 half double crochet. Yarn over and skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. When 4 half double crochet exactly as we started before here. We're going to start the next row. You're going to chain 1, and this time around we're going to make 2. We're going to make 3 half double crochet. So yarn over and make 3 half double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. We have 3 half double crochet. Yarn over and skip 2 stitches, 1, 2. I'm going to make 4 half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to make a peak, repeat the sequence, and I'm measure in here. In 1, and I'm going to change. I'm going to change my color here. So I'm going to go back in that first stitch. Chain one. And here we're still going to do our decreases. So here we did 3, here we're going to make 2 half double crochet. Working along my tails. So come here and 1 and 2. So 1, 2, another, and skip 1, 2, and repeat your pattern on each other end. We ended row number 4 with 2 stitches. We're going to start row number 5. We're going to chain 1, and here we're going to make with 1 half double crochet. Make 1 half double crochet, another, and skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and repeat this pattern. And you're going to do the same thing at the end here. You're going to make a 1 half double crochet at the end here. At the end of row number 6, you're going to skip those 2 stitches and you're going to end just 1 half double crochet. And 1 to start the next row. And now you're going to skip those 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and just start working the next. So go directly in the next, and you're going to make a 4 half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. You're going to make a peak, and you're going to repeat this time. Now the next one shall work. We're going to create our straps behind here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to skip the first. You're going to skip this the extremes here. You're going to skip 1 and 1 here, and come to the second and to the second, right? And the same number, exactly we started this way. You're going to come here and this is just the set. We're going to start working here. Take it out and insert your stitch marker. You're going to chain 1. In that same stitch, make but a single crochet. Start with a single crochet. In the second stitch, going there with a single crochet, a single crochet. Yarn over in the next stitch, going there with a half double crochet, yarn over. In the next stitch, you're going to make a double crochet and make number 5. The 5th stitch is a double crochet. This will help our work to have the same height. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 2 double crochet. And I'm going to chain 1 and down. And in each stitch, you're going to make a half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1 and turn your work. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1 and turn. And you're going to repeat this sequence until you get to the height. I've been working on my strap, and I have a length of 15 centimeters. This is good for newborn size. And I have a total of 21 rows here. Next, we're going to create a buttonhole. And next, now we're going to create a buttonhole. You're going to go ahead and chain 3. I already have 1 here. 1, 2, and 3. 3 chains. Turn your work, and you're going to skip all of those stitches, and you're going to insert a hook in this last stitch here. In the last stitch, you're going to make a slip stitch. And you're going to chain 1 and turn. You're going to come and work in this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 and 6. 6, 7. You should just come below here. Just come in this space here. Go in there and slip stitch. 1, fasten it again. Always remember to within your tails. We're going to turn to start the second, and we have 5 stitches here, so we also need to have 5 stitches. Where you're going to count from the stitch marker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and insert your stitch marker here. We're going to chain 1. Here we're going to make a double crochet. Number 1 double crochet. Number 2 double crochet. We have 2 double crochet just as we had 2 double crochet at the end here. 1 half double crochet. 1 half double crochet, and into the next stitch you're going to make a single crochet, and in that last stitch you're going to make a single crochet, and now you're going to chain 1 and repeat exactly what we did on the other side. You're going to make 5 half double crochet, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1 and turn your work and repeat exactly what we did here. On this part of the work, we're going to sew in our buttons. You're going to put it the pick here. I'm using my needle, and I have many tutorials where I teach you how to sew and your find it. Yeah, go sit down. We're just going to go ahead and add in your tails. And for next part of work, we're going to turn your work. And we're going to sew in this gap here. So make sure that the stitches align together. Put them stitch into stitch. This is the first, so we're going to come back in. And now just going to each stitch. Make sure you're sewing stitch into stitch. Here we are done. Go ahead and thank you so very much. And thank you so very much for working with me. Let me know what you think about this beautiful tutorial in the comment section below. And if there's anything you want me to work on, write in the comment section below. And if you're still at home mom like me, I encourage you to work from home, and I pray God bless the work of your hands. I'll meet you in the next tutorial. Till then, God bless us and keep us and prosper the work of our hands. Shalom. And I want to give the total. I have 27 centimeters. And if you want to take with the straps, that gives me 31 centimeters.